Second. And good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Jimmy John's Field for some Sunday baseball here on the USPBL Network. It's the Diamond Hoppers and the Beavers here today on this Sunday Fun Day presented by Fairytale Entertainment. That's Kara Wolfbauer. I'm Alex Johnson here for today's game. And Kara, both of these teams have a great game on Friday night. The Hoppers able to win it in sudden death thanks to a great performance by Joe Burke, going 4 for 6 in that game and getting the walk-off single. A lot of momentum going into the Hoppers heading into today's game.
Yes, and I got to talk to Joe Burke after the game and for our post-game. He was our CNS Healthcare Player of the Game that day. And I kind of asked him what's been the change for the Hoppers recently and for him at the plate. Especially he was the guy to see that night. Bases were loaded, and he hit the walk-off single to get the guy home. And I talked to him, and he said that just having these new guys and having that presence of being here last year, he was the guy to be there, to be at the plate at that moment, and to inspire the new guys to step up and do what he did.
Yeah, absolutely. They were coming off the game on Thursday where they took a tough loss to the Unicorns, picked up some guys from the College Showcase this past Monday, getting them adjusted to the game. That was always a good feel for them, just to be in that moment to win in walk-off fashion.
Yes, and it's really interesting to see the new look it brings to Jimmy John's Field, seeing all the guys come from the College Showcase. We got Ryan Major on the Unicorns, just some new guys, new faces. Joseph Califoot for the Hoppers hit his first professional home run the other day. It's really inspiring, too, to see these guys come out here because it's a different look than college ball and see them grow into themselves here.
Yeah, absolutely. Alex Pup has also had a great performance over the last couple of games, 2 home runs over the last 2 nights, and he's been doing really well, picking up for the Hoppers, being one of the talented veterans on this team. And
yes, he's been the leadoff for the Hoppers. This is his second year now, been with the league for a while. I know he takes the leadership role for the Hoppers. The guys look up to him. Great at shortstop as well. We've seen a lot of great shortstops in this league, though, this year, especially Alex Pup. Donovan Curiel's been great at shortstop over there for the Unicorns. It's just been a strong infield for the USPBL this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Now looking over to the Beavers for a second, Kara, I had a chance to talk with John Dombrowski. They rallied in the 7th inning in that game, putting up 4 runs to tie the game, but unfortunately able to win it in sudden death. And when I talked to him, just focusing on some of the mistakes they made over the last couple of games that have cost them, trying to move on from that and try to grow from that and try to get one back in the win column here today.
Yes, I think, and like we always mention, in baseball you're always making adjustments. It's a game of adjustments, a game of failure and learning, and just keep getting better every day. So when you bring in these new guys from the College Showcase, there's so much still to be done. They don't know each other yet. Some of them have only known each other for a few days, not even practiced together, played baseball together. So finding that art form together and making the adjustments and hopefully coming out on top eventually.
Yeah, absolutely. Going to be taking some time for that and just to get players adjusted into that. Going to be interesting to see how the weather plays today. The game getting moved up to 12:30 this afternoon instead of the 1:05 first pitch we usually have on Sundays because of the rain coming in. It's supposed to come around late in the afternoon, like around 3 o'clock or so. How do you think that's going to impact the guys in the late stages of the game?
Well, honestly, I'm not quite sure. We're going to see how it plays out tonight. If we don't see any rain, I don't think it'll have too much of an effect on the game. But if we start to see some rain, I know some of the guys like Joe Burke has talked to us about some sight issues, having a hard time with visibility out there. So hopefully the rain will hold off tonight. We've had a rough go this year for the USPBL with rain delays and cancellations, which we've rarely ever had. We always want to put on a show for our fans. Only third one in the history that got canceled ahead of time this year in the history of the league. So it's disappointing that we've had some rough weather this year, but glad we can move up the time and get the games going for the players and for the fans today.
Yeah, absolutely. Want to be able to get the game in, the fans coming out here today and having some fun. They're going to be seeing a good rematch here today between the Hoppers and the Beavers. What do you think both teams are looking to make adjustments here in this rematch today, Kara?
I think it'll be looking to make adjustments on the offensive side. Going through the lineups today, making adjustments against the pitchers. We have Armstrong and Verbrugge. We haven't seen really too much of them, but we had Verbrugge here last year, so I think coming from the Beavers, past guys can say what they've seen from Verbrugge, give a little bit of a scouting report, and hopefully the offensive side can then show through.
Yeah, Verbrugge hasn't pitched since last Saturday, and Jake Armstrong, he's been one of the new guys on the Beavers this season. He's looking to make a start here today and looking to find his rhythm here this afternoon, and going to be interesting to watch.
Yes, Verbrugge brings to the plate a 4-seam fastball, slider, changeup, curveball, and a 2-seam fastball. Armstrong just the 4-seam fastball, slider, and the change. So if that works for him, I'm really excited to see how it comes out tonight.
It's going to be interesting to see how these guys perform here this afternoon. When we come back, we'll have the lineups and first pitch coming up next right here on the USPBL Network. Don't go anywhere.
There are many things you can rely on in this world, like a sunny day brightening your mood, your mom baking the world's best apple pie, and never a dull moment in running your business. And when it comes to time-consuming HR tasks, you can rely on Tryon. Tryon can handle payroll and taxes, employee benefits, and more, so you can stay focused on attracting and retaining the best talent. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Jimmy John's Field is the perfect venue for birthday parties, summer picnics, company outings, and provides the best entertainment in Metro Detroit with great baseball all summer long. Spend your summer nights under the lights at Jimmy John's Field in historic downtown Utica.
And good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Jimmy John's Field. Get ready for some action here today. It's the Beavers and the Hoppers here for a Sunday matinee right here on the USPBL Network. I'm Alex Johnson, giving you the call of this afternoon's contest. Let's take a look at our sponsors who are making this game possible here on the USPBL Network. Let's take a look at them right now. Today's game is sponsored by Fairytale Entertainment, Ascension, Belfour Property Restoration, Budweiser, Dave & Buster's, DTE Energy, Fifth Third Bank, Jarbcom, Jimmy John's, Macomb Community College, McLaren Macomb, McQuaid Heating and Cooling, Plumbing and Refrigeration, Metro Detroit Chevy Dealers, Pepsi, Scott's, and United Wholesale Mortgage. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors who made this broadcast possible here today on the USPBL Network for a Sunday fun day here at the ballpark, presented by Fairytale Entertainment. We'll take a look at the starting lineups here today. First for the Beavers, coming in 6-9 overall on the season. Let's take a look at what Coach John Dabrowski has drawn up here this afternoon. Leading off in center field will be Chris Davis, one of the talented guys for the Beavers this season. He'll be followed by one of the new guys picked up at the college showcase this past week, Rudy Ramirez. He's the DH in the 2 spot. J.D. Stubbs over at first base, bats third. Malik Bolin, the cleanup hitter, one of the other guys to look out for here today. He's in left, batting fourth. Ray Hilbruch, one of the newest members on the Beavers, bats fifth and right. Luke Stevenson, the newest catcher for the Beavers, behind the dish, batting sixth. Rounding out the lineup will be Marcus Judd at second, Shoma Yoshida at the hot corner, and Ben Wilcoxon at short. And then on the mound for the Beavers will be the right-hander Jake Armstrong. And we'll see what Armstrong is going to be seeing against here today with the Hoppers as we present their starting lineup, who are coming in 7-7 on the season. They're coming off the sudden death victory over the Beavers on Friday night. Here's what Coach Ryan Cockey has drawn up for us. Alex Pup over at shortstop has had 2 home runs over the past couple of games. He's in the leadoff spot. Then he'll be followed by Anthony Flores in center. Then Joseph Califoot, one of the newest hoppers on the team, picked up at the showcase. He's in left field. In the cleanup spot, Joe Burke went 4 for 6 on Friday night, including that walk-off single. And he'll be followed by Brian Schellenbarger in right, Chris O'Neill, the DH, Tosh Porter behind the dish bats 7th. Todd Maddox over at third bats 8. And then Chandler Dunn rounds out the lineup over at second base batting 9th. And then Andrew Verbrugge is on the mound for the Hoppers. As we get ready to go here today, as the Hoppers getting ready to take over the field. As we get ready, we'll take a break. We'll be back for the first pitch right here on the USPBL Network. Don't go anywhere.
Jimmy John's Field is the perfect venue for birthday parties, summer picnics, company outings, and provides the best entertainment in Metro Detroit with great baseball all summer long. Spend your summer nights under the lights at Jimmy John's Field in historic downtown Utica.
Slide into a new home. Work with a local mortgage pro who works for you. Get a cheaper, faster, easier home loan. Find a mortgage broker near you today at findamortgagebroker.com.
You hear about the promo that Jimmy's John's got going on? 5 off 20? How they pulling it off? Magic? You got David's Copperfields in there? Show yourself, Copperfields!
Jimmy John's. $5 off orders of 20 or more.
Welcome back, everyone. Getting ready to start the game in just a couple of minutes between the Hoppers and the Beavers here this afternoon. Alex Johnson with you for the call. A cloudy day here at the ballpark. We're supposed to get some rain, a little bit on later today. We'll see if it holds off here. Well, it's supposed to come around the 3 o'clock hour. We're going to take a look at our starting pitchers here today. Our pitching comparison presented by Ascension. Andrew Verbrugge takes the mound for the Hoppers. Coming in, hasn't pitched since last Saturday. He's from Grand Rapids, Michigan, the Hillsdale College grad. His last appearance, he closed out Game 2 against the Mammoths. Still looking for his first win on the season. ERA a little bit high, only 12 innings of work, 11 strikeouts compared to 14 walks. That ERA coming in at 6.75. Only with 12 innings pitched of work. See if he can be able to take control here today. He's been doing really well for the most part. Just as we take a look at the standings here for the standings so far this season, the Beavers coming in 6-9, the Hoppers 7-7, the Unicorns lit up at the top at 9-5. So the 2, 3, and 4 spots with the Hoppers, Mammoths, and Beavers right over here. Still a lot of game. Still a lot of movement here in this early part of the season. Still a lot for these guys to work on and improve every single game. As Jake Armstrong is on the mound for the Beavers. Making a start here today for them. We'll talk more about Armstrong in the bottom half of the inning. It's going to be Chris Davis to lead it off. So Davis will lead it off. Verbrugge coming in. Throws a few pitches in his arsenal. 4-seam, 2-seam, curveball, changeup, and slider. Going to take control here against Chris Davis to start, who swings at the first pitch. Sends one out to right field, And that one is out of here. Chris Davis on the first pitch sends that one goodbye. Starting the game off with a bang, Chris Davis. They were coming off that game on Friday night, losing in sudden death, and Chris Davis sends that one out of the park on the very first pitch. That's his first home run since May 21st. That was their first game of the year against the Unicorns, where he sent 2 out. He had a leadoff homer in that game. And man, Chris Davis starts out strong, sends over to Rudy Ramirez. Talk about him. One of the new guys that Coach Dombrowski is really happy about, coming over from Brighton, Michigan, and went to Wayne State University, as it's a 2-2 count on him. Starting the season off 3 for 10. For Brugge getting set. Takes one over on one hop, over to Todd Maddox, to Joe Burke for the first out of the inning. Let's take a look at the Hoppers starting defense, presented by Three Dimensional Services. Let's take a look out in left, Joseph Califoot. Then center field, Anthony Flores and Brian Schellenberger over in right. And then in the infield, Todd Maddox at third, Alex Pup over at short, Chandler Dunn at second, Joe Burke over at first, and Tosh Porter behind the dish for Andrew Verbrugge. That's the one outside at 88 miles an hour to J.D. Stubbs. Missed inside for ball 2. Went with that change up. 2-0 count on Stubbs. Grounds that one foul. Stubbs coming in with a 6'3", 220 left-handed batter from Fort Pierce, Florida, Georgia Gwinnett grad. It was 1 for 4 on Friday with a double and an RBI. And a tough loss. But Chris Davis providing some fireworks early. On the first pitch he sees, sends one down the right field line to get the Beavers on the board first. A full count here, Verbrugge, with the payoff pitch coming. Gets him down swinging. Perfect pitch at 72 miles per hour on that curveball. Able to respond and get back in the count to retire Stubbs. Malik Bolin steps into the batter's box. The average has gone down to 269 for him. You know, he was hitting around 300 a couple weeks ago. Had a 1 for 5 game on Friday, but has done really well against the Hoppers this season. 6 of 16 so far against them. Had to move out of the way on that. Was going to get him on the back. Coming in at that curveball again at 70 miles an hour. Verbrugge getting set. That one inside. He's falling behind now 3-0. Hitter friendly count. Bolin was about to walk over the first base, but home plate umpire said, hold on, that's a strike. 3-1 pitch. And lost inside at the knees for ball 4. So a 2-out walk. Now Ray Hilbrich steps in. One of the guys that Coach Dombrowski picked up from the college showcase this past Monday. The outfielder from Schererville, Indiana. Went to Purdue Northwest, a Division II school in the GLIAC. Takes a first pitch strike at 86. He did not play on Friday. His first game was Wednesday in a non-public game against the Mammoths where he went 1 for 4 with a double and a run scored. Coach Dombrowski is really excited to see what he can bring to the table. Hit 381 this year over at Purdue Northwest. He spent some time last summer with the Battle Creek Bombers in the Northwoods League on the west side of the state. Down in the count 1-2. Verbrugge gets set. This one on one hop. And off the glove of Todd Maddox. Going first to third is Bolin. And the Beavers trying to pound some more here. Looked like Maddox was going to be able to get that play. Or Alex Pup. But it looked like it went off the glove of Maddox. Was not able to make the play. They're going to give that a hit to him. And Willie wasn't like full position of the ball to throw it over. Another new guy, Luke Stevenson. One of the local guys around here coming from Algonac. Went to Algonac High School. A team that made it all the way to the Division III state finals up at Michigan State. They were the runners-up. And he goes down swinging. So Verbrugge limits the damage, leaves 2 runners on, but Chris Davis sends one out of the park on the first pitch, and it's a 1-0 Beavers lead over the Hoppers as we head to the bottom of the first. We're going to send it down to the field to Kara Wolfbauer for the sweetheart of the game.
Our sweetheart of the game today, JJ went sniffing through the stands and found our new friend Ellie. She's only 3 years old, making her the perfect sweetheart of the game today. Now, he got up early this morning, about 6 a.m., went over to Thrifty Flowers and picked out a beautiful bouquet of flowers, which matches my clothes, so I was very proud of JJ for that one. And Michigan First Credit Union sponsors JJ, giving him an awesome vest, so Thrifty Flowers knew that JJ was coming to pick up this bouquet of flowers for Ellie. So thank you, Ellie. Thank you, Johnny, and we'll send it back up to you.
All right, thanks, Kara. Bottom of the first we go. Jake Armstrong steps on the mound for the Beavers. We're going to take a look at him. Take a look at him so far. One of the new pitchers, he came before the college showcase last week. The 6'3", 205 right-hander from Bloomington, Illinois. Went to Western Illinois University, a Division I school in the Summit League. He's making his second start on the season, third appearance overall. His last outing was on Father's Day against the Unicorns, where he went 4 innings of work, allowed only 1 hit, 3 strikeouts and a walk on 14 batters faced. I had a chance to talk with him before the game. He's really excited to be here. It feels like he's done a real lot. Having that experience, playing at the Division I level, and playing some of the teams in the College World Series. He's pitched 5 innings so far, and he's going to look and see what he can do here to help the Beavers get back in the win column. Let's take a look at the Hopper starting defense, presented by the 3-Dimensional Services. Look at the Beavers defensive alignment, rather. Take a look at the outfield, Malik Bolin, Chris Davis, and Rail Hilbrich. And then over in the infield, Shoma Yoshida's at the hot corner today. Ben Wilcoxon at short, Marcus Judd at second, J.D. Stubbs over at first, and Luke Stevenson is behind the plate for Armstrong. He's going to face Alex Pup, Anthony Flores, and Joseph Califoot to start the bottom of the first inning. Alex Pup has been on a roll over the last few games. We mentioned that in the pregame. Had a 2-for-6 performance on Friday with a home run. So went upstairs for a ball to start. Armstrong has 3 pitches to offer. Has the 4-seam, the slider, and the changeup. Gonna try to paint the corners and keep hitters off balance. He's down 2-0 in the count to Pup. This one skied in the air to shallow left. Malik Bolin calls it for the first out of the inning. Anthony Flores steps in now. The center fielder from San Jose, California. Went 1 for 4 on Friday. 4 for 16 against the Beavers this season as Armstrong gets back to work quickly. There's a nice pitch on the changeup at 81 miles an hour. Hoppers looking to respond after allowing the home run by Chris Davis. Glad to have you with us here today on the USPBL Network. Alex Johnson with you for the call. Glad to have you with us on Facebook and YouTube. Make sure to leave a comment on where you're tuning into this afternoon. Going to be a good one here today. It was a rematch from Friday night where the Hoppers won in sudden death. Armstrong sends that one high at 81. One-two pitch coming. Pulls that one out to right. It's going to drop in. Flores hustling for 2. The throw, not in time. So a bloop double for Anthony Flores. He stretched that one out. Stubbs, Judd, and Helbrich were all over there. And it fell right between them. And Flores' speed, he was going for 2. He was hustling. You got to like what you saw there from him. Well, most of the time, that's just a single. And it brings up Joseph Califoot. Califoot coming from Columbus, Wisconsin. The left-hander at 6'3", 215. It's done really well to start. Flores on the move. The throw over to third, not in time. The tag by Shoma Yoshida from Luke Stevenson was a little late. And Flores is 90 feet from home. Always got to be careful on the base paths. As that's stolen base number 5 for him on the season. 1-2 count on Califoot. Oh, the Hoppers have done really well in this situation. 11 for 22 with runner on third and less than 2 outs. That's a 2-2 count. So a chance here to capitalize and tie this game up. Califoot right at home plate at 77 miles an hour. Armstrong taking a look over. The corner's a little bit in. See Yoshida and Stubbs. Lines one right to Marcus Judd. Throws it away over to Yoshida. As Flores had to tag back up. And he scores on the throwing error by Judd. And that's something I talked with Coach Dombrowski about. Those mistakes that happen. You know, you got the out. You know, for Flores, he had to tag back up, but that throw away over to the Hoppers dugout. Can't afford to do that. You know, I'm talking with Coach Dombrowski about that and some of the mistakes they've made over the last few days to try to clean things up. As Joe Burke has went over to Will Coxon, but that was deep in the infield and no throw. So an infield single for Joe Burke. So we're tied at 1. Brings up Brian Schellenbarger. Well, the Hoppers will take that. Will take advantage of that mistake by the Beavers. So 1-0 count. A big swing and a miss at 82 miles an hour at the upstairs part of the zone. On first base, that's Burke. Let that one foul at home plate. Got him with that slider there at 76 to make it 1-2. The Hoppers tied it up on the line out and throwing error by Marcus Judd. And Brian Schellenbarger called out on strikes. Armstrong got him on the knees, but not before they're able to tie it up. Have a 1-1 ball game heading into the second inning. We'll be back after this right here on the US PBL Network.
We're for people, the pioneers, the underdogs, the players, and the slow and steadies. We're for people, for who they are and who they could become. Yes, we're a bank, and some say our business is all about money, but that's an old idea. Because look past the money, and you'll see real human lives. We see it, because we're for people. Huntington, welcome.
The Dave & Buster's method is designed to help you unlearn adulthood and discover the funner you hidden within you. The you that doesn't think about adult things and stuff. Ashley, I don't want to hear anything about your car registration when we're at Dave & Buster's.
Okay.
The you want to be. Let the Dave & Buster's method illuminate you. Begin the method today with 5 free games. You know you want to.
You hear about the promo that Jimmy's John's got going on? 5 off 20? How they pulling it off? Magic? You got David's Copperfields in there? Show yourself, Copperfields!
Jimmy John's. $5 off orders of 20 or more.
Welcome back, everyone. Andrew Verbrugge gets back on the hill. Game is tied up at 1. The Hoppers were able to tie it up on the miscue by the Beavers. We'll see if Verbrugge able to get back to work after allowing that leadoff home run and getting into a little bit of some trouble with runners on the corners, but he was able to get out of that one to limit the damage. It's going to be the bottom of the order for the Beavers. It's going to be Marcus Judd, Shoma Yoshida, and Ben Wilcoxon. Here in this second inning presented by Budweiser. Verbrugge gets to find his groove here as He misses away inside at 71. Talking with him, he wants to be able to just pound the strike zone, get ahead in the count early, attack early. But a little bit of a struggle so far today. Able to find the strike zone at 87 with his fastball. 2-1 count. Coach Ryan Cockey has a lot to talk about him with Alex Pup. He'll throw it over to Joe Burke for a routine ground out. I was like, what he was saying, if he was able to get in his groove and able to attack and fill the zone, he's one of the best pitchers in the league. I'm talking with Ryan Cockey, and he's effective with his fastball and able to use his secondary pitches to his advantage. So when he's on his game, he has a lot to offer and brings a lot of experience. So one of the more veteran guys in this league. We'll take a look at over for him here. So as Yoshida sends it over to Pup, a good throw over to Joe Burke for one pitch out. Brings up Ben Wilcoxon. And for Berkey, this is his third year in the league. And the ERA a little over 5 last season with 80 strikeouts and 40 walks in 16 games. And in 2021, in 47 2/3 innings. And the ERA under 3.4, at 3.38 to be exact. So it brings a lot of experience to the table every time he steps on the mound. Ben Wilcoxon had a 1-for-4 game on Friday as he sends this one out to right. Schellenberger going back for it. He makes the catch, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Andrew Verbrugge. Good bounce back inning for him. Feeling confident. We'll see how his offense does in the bottom half of the second. We're tied up at 1. We'll be back right here on the USPBL Network.
There are things you can rely on in this world, like your dog being happy to see you, coffee getting you through the day, and the government changing business regulations. And when it comes to navigating those regulations, you can rely on Tryon and its team of attorneys. Tryon can also tackle time-consuming HR tasks like payroll and employee benefits, so you can stay focused on growing your business. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Jake Armstrong back to work here in the bottom of the second inning. 1-1 ball game. Alex Johnson with you here this afternoon. Game starting at 12:30 this afternoon with some rain pending in the forecast, but so far, it's a little bit cloudy. The sun's trying to peek out for right now. The fans having a good time here as well. So the Hoppers get back to work. It's going to be 6, 7, 8. Chris O'Neill to lead it off. They'll be followed by Tosh Porter and Todd Maddox. And it's a first pitch strike to O'Neill, who's batting .243 on the season. And 1-1 after missing that one. From Barnesville, Georgia. Let's look over at some fans over having a good time at the ball game. coming from Lane College in a Division II school. And 243 on the season. With a couple of home runs. Out to left field. Going back for it, and that one is gone. Chris O'Neill took that one for a ride. Bolin was tracking it. And just like that, Chris O'Neill with his third bomb on the year. And the Hoppers take the lead. It looked like it was just going to be like a routine fly ball. And with the wind blowing, that one carried out. Oh, with the wind here today, it's not like super windy, but that ball was carrying. Bolin thought he was going to have a chance to make the catch, but he just watched that one go over the fence. Yeah, that's home run number 3 for Chris O'Neill. Now brings up Taj Porter. Now both pitchers have allowed one here today. 5 for 27 on the season for Taj Porter, coming from Southern University, the Southwestern Athletic Conference in Division I. Was 0 for 1 on Friday. As a chopper right back to the mound. Armstrong over to Stubbs to retire him, one gone. Todd Maddox will step in now. There's JJ picking up the bat. The star of the show. Every time you come out, make sure you see him. A fan favorite here at the ballpark. 76 miles an hour for a first pitch strike to Todd Maddox. Starting off 176 on the season. That's an 82 mile per hour fastball foul to the screen. Armstrong working quickly, 0-2 pitch. And one at 84 on the gun. Some Hopper fans over. A lot of Hopper fans in the seats here today for some Sunday fun day here at the ballpark. On one hop to Marcus Judd. Throws it over to J.D. Stubbs for the second out of the inning. So 2 ground ball outs after that home run by O'Neill. Brings up the number 9 hitter, Chandler Dunn. Chandler Dunn had the night off on Friday, coming in 139 on the season with 1 extra base hit. Coming from Oakland City University in Indiana, an NAIA school. Is that one foul at 77 miles an hour? Hit .354 in his final year in college. With 4 home runs and 33 runs driven in. Oh, he was trying to set that one up by Luke Stevenson. Couldn't get the call. Count is 1-2. Armstrong with 5 seconds on the pitch clock. Gets it to his windup. 1-2 pitch. Missed that one away. Trying to get in with that fastball at 84 miles an hour. Two-two pitch. Don sends one over Wilcoxon's head. And into the gap in left center. Dunn will stop at first for a 2-out base knock. Gotta feel good to keep the inning going. Goes back to the top of the order, Alex Pup. He's been 4 for 10 over the last 2 games. And he pops up the first pitch. Right back to the mound, but Stubbs calls off Armstrong to make the catch. And besides a 2-out base knock by Chandler Dunn and a home run by Chris O'Neill to give the Hoppers the lead, they're able to get back in control. So the first lead of the game for them, up 2-1 over the Beavers. We'll be back for the 3rd inning right here on the USPBL Network.
First State Bank is a locally owned and operated business. We're part of your community. At fsbcares.com, you'll find ways that we're making a difference by featuring locally owned and operated businesses, providing access to helpful financial resources, and engaging with community. FSBcares.com is part of our commitment to the neighborhood because strong neighbors mean stronger communities. Where good neighbors do great things. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
The Dave & Buster's method is designed to help you unlearn adulthood and reset our life around zapping stuff and cheering for stuff with your friends. Begin the method today with 5 free games. You know you want to.
We're the financial champion of Michiganders. Whether you're a goal-getter or dream chaser, an empty nester, or up-and-comer, anyone in Michigan can bank with us. Michigan Schools and Government Credit Union.
Welcome back, everyone. Andrew Verbrugge back on the mound here to start the 3rd inning. It's a 2-1 ball game. The Hoppers in the driver's seat after the home run by Chris O'Neill in the last half inning. I want to take a moment to congratulate Francis Florentino of the West Side Woolly Mammoths becoming the 49th player in USPBL history to be signed by a major league organization. He was signed by the Minnesota Twins this past week. And one of the great players to come through this league. Went 377 on the season, 2 home runs, 12 RBIs. I give a congratulations to him. And all of what he has done for the USPBL. And I'd like to say good luck to him on his baseball journey with the Minnesota Twins organization. Chris Davis will lead it off. At that lead-off home run to start off the game. That was his 3rd on the year. And it's a 1-2 count. Verbrugge getting set. And rings him up. Good bounce back for Verbrugge as he sets Chris Davis down. Now let's see, how are you able to feel after allowing a first pitch home run to start the game, but he gets back into his rhythm, easing his way in now. Brings up Rudy Ramirez. And that's a fair ball. That one down the hot corner. That one's go all the way down to the wall. Ramirez trot to the second base for a stand-up double. That one stayed fair on the white line. We'll take a look at it here. It went over the corner of the bag, so everyone was just thinking that was foul, but you just can't assume it's going to be foul. So now the Beavers have a runner in scoring position and 1 out. Now J.D. Stubbs steps in. He struck out swinging his first time up. Well, Stubbs this season with runners in scoring position with Ramirez on the move. Porter lost it, goes to the backstop. Ramirez will advance. Yeah, maybe some miscommunication between Porter and Verbrugge there. What pitch he was going to throw. With runners in scoring position for Stubbs this season, he's been done well. 8 for 20 in that department. And he's in a hitter-friendly count right now, 3-0. A chance to even it back up, but he won't have that chance. That went up and away. For the second free pass allowed by Andrew Verbrugge. Brings up the cleanup hitter, Malik Bolin. Bolin, the 6'4", 215 left fielder from Fort Worth, Texas. Played at University of Mary Hardin Baylor, Division III school in the American Southwest Conference. Another veteran here in the USPBL was on the Unicorns last season. As he swings and misses at that one. Down in the count 0-2 quickly. He was a mechanical engineering major in college. Was an honorable mention in the American Southwest Conference. They throw back over, try to get the strikeout throw out. Subs back in safely, but Bolin strikes out. Strikeout number 4 for Verbrugge here this afternoon. Ray Hilbridge steps in. First pitch for a strike. A 1 pitch. In the air to center field. Long run for Flores. And able to hunt it down for the 5th third out of the game. Presented by 5th Third Bank. So it's a 2-1 Hoppers lead over the Beavers as we head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. And there's JJ the Water Boy, sponsored by Michigan First Credit Union. Always make sure our umpires are hydrated and ready to go. Now he gets a nice treat to fuel him for the rest of the game. Our JJ the Water Boy is sponsored by Michigan First Credit Union. We're now going to send it down to Kara Wolfbauer, celebrating her birthday here today in the DTE Kid vs. Mascot race.
We've got our DTE Kid vs. Mascot race, but it's a special one today. We have Braxton, he's only 5 years old, and he's out here with his Uncle Brian, our Eastside Diamond Hopper, number 25, our right fielder, but he's going to give him a pep talk. Let's get him excited.
Braxton, make fast look not fast, bub.
Make fast, Braxton. All right, you ready? Let's step up to the first base. All right, Brian's telling him he's got to run fast. All right, ready? 3, 2, you're going to run that way. 3, 2, 1, go! Go, 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 go! Maybe Ben Wilcoxon over there can help him out. We'll see what happens. Here we go, turn left, man. Marcus Judd's helping him out. He's going to 3. It's going to be a close race here, guys. He's going to need your help, I think, to come home. Let me hear you guys. Come on, Braxton! Hey, ump, you want to make a call at home if he's safe? Here it is. And he's saved. There we go. Braxton is our winner today. It was a close one, Ribby. You're getting closer every time, just not yet. All right, let's send it back up to Johnny in the booth.
Thanks, Kara. Bottom of the 3rd inning. Here we go, here at Jimmy John's Field. It's a 2-1 game between the Hoppers and the Beavers. In case you're just joining us here so far, started out with a leadoff home run on the first pitch by Chris Davis. And then the Hoppers were able to get one back on an error by the Beavers in the bottom half of the first. And then Chris O'Neill sent one out of the park in the bottom half of the second. That's where we stand right now. And Anthony Flores will step in now. We just made the last out in the last half inning. At a bloop double his last time up. Jake Armstrong gets back to work. It's a first pitch strike at 84 miles an hour. Right down the heart of the plate again with that fastball. And able to gain control here today. It's done well so far. 0-2 pitch. Missed away. Was going off speed with the slider. One ball and 2 strikes. Be followed by Joseph Califoot and Joe Burke. Out to right. And that one will drop just foul. So close. Flores played his college ball at the University of Nevada, the Division I school in the Mountain West Conference. Was one of the key players on that team. He hit over 300 as he was called out on strikes, caught looking. That's the second punch out for Armstrong here today. That's good location on that. Joseph Califoot. Comes in now. Califoot played his college ball at Edgewood College, a Division III school in Madison, Wisconsin, part of the Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference. That's the outside top corner, 1-1 at 78 miles an hour from Armstrong. Sends that one down the left field line, but into the bullpen of the Hoppers. Califoot also was a pitcher in his time at college. At a 2.89 ERA, 3 appearances. All of them were starts in his senior season. Hit .331 with 8 homers and 44 runs driven in his senior season. It's one on the ground. Over to Judd. He makes the play to Stubbs to complete the out. Joe Burke now comes in. We mentioned he was the hero for the Hoppers on Friday night. And he had a great game. 4 for 6. Had a double, 2 RBIs. Had that walk-off single. Right over the glove of Armstrong. Judd able to back him up. He retires. Burke there with a 1-2-3 inning. So 3 innings down already. Game is moving along as we head to the top of the 4th. Still a 2-1 Hoppers lead over the Beavers. We're going to send it down to Kara Wolfbauer for the Chevy fan of the game.
Out there, Jake Armstrong. This is his father. Now, Jake made his professional debut last week on Father's Day. His dad didn't get to be there, so this is his Father's Day present, right?
That's right.
Yes. How does it feel watching your son?
Oh, I'm having fun. This is a great atmosphere.
Good, glad to hear it. Now, Jason is our winner today, but you guys can be winners too. If you take a look up at that scoreboard, let me see those phones come out, scan that QR code for a chance to win 4 front row tickets to a championship game. And who knows, maybe Jake Armstrong will be pitching. So thank you so much, Jason, and we'll send it back up to Johnny.
Thank you, Kara. And when it's time for baseball, it's time for beer. Two Hearted Ale has been named #1 beer in America for the past 4 years by members of the American Home Brewers Association. Play ball with the best. Two Hearted Ale, the iconic American IPA from Bell's Brewery, Cornstalk, Michigan. Please drink responsibly. Top of the 4th inning, Andrew Verbrugge gets back on the mound. His team up 1. Has done well so far. He's had 4 strikeouts so far. Take a look at the Beavers dugout. It's been a good game here so far. The Beavers came out of the gates on fire with the leadoff blast by Chris Davis. But the Hoppers have gained momentum since. Ready for the top of the 4th inning. Like to thank Scott's, one of our sponsors here. It's our 4th inning sponsor here today. It's going to be 6, 7, 8 for the Beavers. Luke Stevenson, Marcus Judd, and Shoma Yoshida. Grounding that one foul, Stevenson. Coming from Algonac, Michigan. Was 1 for 4 on Friday as he sends this one out to left field. Looking that one up, and that one is gone. Joseph Califa lets this one go out of here as we have another home run. Luke Stevenson this time gets his first one in his USPBL career. And just like that, we're tied up at 2. We have seen 3 here already. The flags are moving along with that wind. And Stevenson happy about himself after that one. As it's a 2-2 game. 1-0 count on Marcus Judd with 71 miles per hour on the curveball from Verbrugge. Check swing, went around, went across the plane. 1-2 on Marcus Judd. Judd coming into this game hitting .250 on the season. Did not play on Friday. Came in 2 for 11 against the Hoppers this season. Graduated from Edward Waters College in Jacksonville, Florida. 2-2 pitch. On the ground over the Maddox. Next, a long throw over to Joe Burke for the first out of the inning. I'd like to take a look at some of our comments here on YouTube and Facebook. Mike Spardog on YouTube says, "Let's go Beavers." Has to be happy after that home run by Luke Stevenson a couple of moments ago. Yoshida sends that one foul. Ron Matheny on Facebook says, watching from Clarksburg, West Virginia. Yoshida lays down a bunt but goes foul behind home plate. So make sure to leave a comment on where you're watching here this afternoon. Glad to have you with us. A good game so far. Tied up at 2. Both teams with 4 hits as well. The Beavers do have 1 error, which they made in the bottom of the first inning, which resulted in a run. 0-2 count on Shoma Yoshida. Verbrugge getting into his windup. He's one down to third. Maddox makes the throw over to Joe Burke with a routine play. He's beginning his work over there at third. A lot of balls going his way. That's the third time it's been grounded to the hot corner here this afternoon for the Beavers. As Ben Wilcoxon steps up to the batter's box. Flew out to right to end the second, his first time up. One at the knees at 86 miles per hour to get in command here so far. 0-1 pitch. It goes way out to the backstop. 1-1 on Ben Wilcoxon, who leads the team in average for the Beavers, coming in at 347. And so on one hop, over to Chandler Dunn. He makes the play over to Joe Burke. A good recovery by Andrew Verbrugge after allowing the leadoff home run by Luke Stevenson. We're going to head now to the bottom half of the fourth, all tied up at 2. We'll be back right here on the USPBL Network. Don't go anywhere.
We build roads, bridges, wind farms, and pipelines, schools to skyscrapers. Our members create monuments. We operate. We're the operators and mechanics behind the advanced heavy machines that move Michigan forward. We maintain boilers and HVAC. Our members run the complex heating and cooling systems that we all depend on. Our training is second to none, and safety is our priority. We are Operating Engineers 324, and we keep Michigan running.
Bottom half of the fourth inning. 2-2 ball game here at Jimmy John's Field on this Sunday afternoon. Alex Johnson with you for the call. Jake Armstrong gets back to work on the mound. Had a 1-2-3 inning, last inning. The fans having a good one here so far. Spending their weekend here at the ballpark. Could be 5, 6, 7 due up for Coach Ryan Kotke's squad. Brian Schellenbarger, Chris O'Neill, and Taj Porter. Just outside at 83 miles per hour to start. Schellenbarger. It's the inside corner. 77 on the gun. Schellenbarger from Mount Vernon, Ohio, to the University of Akron, as it's 1-2 on him. Struck out looking his first time up. Coming in today with a 277 average on the season. Was 1 for 4 on Friday night. And chase on that one. Had a 2 for 5 game on Thursday in their loss to the Unicorns. Back to the screen. Was a member of the Hoppers last season who hit 234 with 2 home runs and 17 RBIs. So he makes it a full count. Armstrong getting into his windup, payoff pitch coming. And he strikes him out for the second time today. Threw it right down the heart of the middle Right down the heart of the plate, rather. And he sent Schellenberger packing. Let's punch out number 3 for Armstrong today. Faces Chris O'Neill, who gave the Hoppers the lead at the bottom of the second inning with that home run to left. 1-2 now. Good location there by Armstrong. Got him with that fastball. 0-2 pitch. And he sends him down swinging. At that top part of the zone. Back-to-back strikeouts for Jake Armstrong. That fastball has been working for him. There is some activity over in the Beavers bullpen. Take a look to see who that is. Looks like that's Brian Ross warming up in the bullpen. Getting into his command. Gets a piece of that one by a Porter, who grounded out his first time up. Oh, 2 pitch coming. And missed outside. 1-2. Being set here. On the ground. Over to Judd. Makes the play to J.D. Subs, who steps in the bag, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Armstrong. Heading to the 5th, tied at 2. We'll be back after this here on the USPBL Network.
You dreamed of starting a company, not an HR department, but your business has grown fast, and so have the complexities of payroll and taxes, benefits administration, and other HR functions. That's why your business needs a professional employer organization like Tryon Solutions. Tryon provides businesses of all sizes access to top-tier healthcare and employee benefit plans. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Check your checking. If your account doesn't get you pumped, amped, or geeked, make the switch to Genius Checking from Genesis Credit Union. It's just genius.
What makes Detroit Mercy so unique is the fact that it's in the middle of Detroit. The urban setting is really fantastic to be a part of, and especially with their service learning programs, you really get a chance to be a part of the community.
My education here isn't just academic. This school wants you to be the best you that you can be. All aspects of the things that I do here have participated in giving back.
Detroit Mercy. Build a boundless future.
Top of the 5th inning here at Jimmy John's Field. We got a new pitcher for the Hoppers. This is going to be the right-hander Luke Drummond from Temple Terrace, Florida. And at 6'4", 240 pounds. Played at Birmingham Southern College in Birmingham, Alabama, Division III school. He is making his 6th appearance on the season in 60 2/3 innings of work, 19 strikeouts compared to 12 walks. A 4.86 ERA. Opposing batting average to just .210 on the season. He's done well in that department so far. His last appearance, he started Game 2 against the Mammoths last Saturday, the 17th. 3 innings of work, 2 strikeouts and 3 walks with 1 earned run and 1 base hit and 13 batters faced. And just taking a look as a team as a whole, well, the pitching staff has been good for the Hoppers this season. The ERA with 3.88. Drummond. So really well against lefties with 100. But what a catch by Anthony Flores. Getting down for it. And robbing a base hit away from Chris Davis to start the inning. Rudy Ramirez steps in. Take a look at the pitches we will see from Drummond. He has a 4-seam, a 2-seam fastball, has a slider, curveball, and a split changeup we'll see. Goes lined out there to Flores. Have to run in a little bit his way. Gets 2 putouts. J.D. Stubbs comes in. A strikeout and a walk for him today. Stubbs was coming in batting .283 on the season. Coming from Georgia Gwinnett College, one of the talented schools down in the NAIA. He's 5 for 20 against the Hoppers this season. A couple of extra base hits and 4 RBIs. It's the outside play by Drummond. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him on that slider at 77. 1-2 count. Drummond gets set. That one goes out of play. And set here again. Drummond takes a look over at Porter. And missed that one at 88. He's going with his fastball. Counts even at 2. And it looked like the umpire was calling strike 3. It looked like the motion, Drummond was stepping off the mound, and Tosh Porter not happy. Ryan Kottke wants an explanation. Talk with the home plate umpire, because he thought he run him up. I think that's what I was seeing. I could take a look at the replay and just to see what we have here. It looked like he thought he run him up. I don't know if it was just a miscommunication or what, he misread the umpire. But it's ball 3 instead of strike 3. So the inning goes on. It's now 3-2 on J.D. Stubbs. Here at the top half of the 5th, 2 outs. Tied up at 2. A payoff pitch. That's one on the ground. 1 hop to Alex Pup. Throws over to Joe Burke. He's retired anyway. 1-2-3 inning for Luke Drummond. Coming out of the bullpen, getting the job done. Keeping the score where it's at. Heading to the bottom half of the 5th when we come back. Right here on the USPBL Network.
We're for people, the pioneers, the underdogs, the players, and the slow and steadies. We're for people, for who they are and who they could become. Yes, we're a bank, and some say our business is all about money, but that's an old idea. Because look past the money and you'll see real human lives. We see it because we're for people. Huntington, welcome.
With a transforming world, we can see how drastically the world is heading towards automation. And so, we need 24/7 surveillance and security systems for our homes and businesses to avoid any theft or breach of privacy. JARPCOM brings the installation of security cameras to the tip of your fingers with our state-of-the-art mobile app. JARPCOM also provides surveillance monitoring of your entire property with flexible options that offer a dependable solution to be scaled to fit any domestic or commercial need. Contact JARPCOM today for a free estimate at 800-369-0374 or look us up on the web at jarpcom.com.
Take a look at some of the fans enjoying their Sunday afternoon here at the ballpark. Tied up at 2 between the Beavers and the Hoppers here today. Yesterday, we saw the Unicorns suited up in custom playing card jerseys. Well, one of those jerseys could be yours. The jerseys are up for auction through noon on Sunday, July 1st. The auction link is 32auctions.com/ondeck. Again, that's 32auctions.com/ondeck. 50% of all proceeds from this online auction will benefit the Sweet Dreams Project, a Michigan nonprofit. Find out more about this organization at sweetedreamsprojects.org. Again, that's sweetedreamsproject.org. Got a new pitcher now for the Beavers. That's going to be Michael Esposito, who's stepping in on the mound. Port Washington, Kentucky. He's the left-handed pitcher on 5'10", 190. Has done really well since coming into the USPBL. 5 innings of work, 16 strikeouts compared to 5 walks. Only allowed 1 run so far. His last game was on Wednesday against the Mammoths, where he had a little bit of trouble allowing 3 runs in that game in that work for them in that inning of work. Unfortunately, it was a loss for the Beavers in that game. Played his college ball at the University of South Carolina. Has done really well, transitioning from the college game to the USPBL. That's a 1-2 count. And that one at 91. Haven't seen a whole lot of lefties this season. That's a 3-1 count. So 2-2 rather. On Maddox, who grounded out his first time up. 2-2 pitch coming. Swing and a miss. Maddox goes down swinging for the first out. That's a lot more fans tuning in here today. Eric Calhoun listening in from Los Angeles here this afternoon. Over here on Facebook. As it's Chandler Dunn now. And back to the top of the order. One-zero pitch. That one below the knees. A couple of Hoppers fans in the chat as well, both on Facebook and YouTube. As Esposito's down in the count 3-0 to Chandler Dunn. Singled his last time up. 3-0 pitch coming. And it's a 4-pitch walk for Chandler Dunn. Talking about the pitching for the Beavers this season. Well, their ERA coming in at 5.26 as a team. They've been working on that. Something that hasn't gone the way they hoped for to start the year. They also were at a high average allowed against left-handed pitching. It was near 350. It was at 346 a week and a half ago. They brought it down to 298. So they've been improving on that department. It's a lot, especially with the new guys that have come in from the college showcase and making some adjustments, from the first month of the season. As that one's foul by Alex Pup. You just be able to want to be able to get guys to improve and develop every game, get them out there to showcase their skills, and trying to see what works. And it's something Coach Dombrowski talked about with me, and also limit those mistakes, those errors. But he's really happy to see some of the guys that have stepped up since joining the team. It's a 3-2 count on Alex Pup. Oh for 2 today. He was one of the key players on Friday as Dunn's on the move. No throw. As Pup gets rewarded first base. So back-to-back walks for Esposito. So Anthony Flores will step in at his double that dropped into right field, and he hustled. Got to second base. He also has a stolen base as well on the afternoon. We're moving up and in on Flores at that 92-mile-per-hour fastball. Good placement there. Got him on that inside corner. 1-1. So far, a little bit cloudy. It's now 2-1, and Luke Stevenson's going to talk over with Esposito. Right now, it's 83 degrees and cloudy here in downtown Utica. Has been some wind around here, especially with the home runs we've had here today. We've had 3. Chris Davis, Chris O'Neill, and Luke Stevenson here today. And take a look out in center field. Flores rips that one foul. 2-2. Pretty even so far. How both of these teams are right now. Hopper's trying to take the lead back with runners on first and second and 1 out. They're in the bottom half of the 5th inning. This low counts even at 2 apiece. So 2-2. Fans enjoying the action here this afternoon. spending their Sunday afternoon here at Jimmy John's Field and going upstairs. Flores chased it. It's a second strikeout for Michael Esposito. Joseph Califoot now steps in. Ross is still warming up. He was out there last inning. That one, this communication between Stevenson and Esposito, both runners advance easily. Trying to drive in two is Califoot. A chance here with runners in scoring position for the Hoppers this season. 262 as a team. Califoot 0 for 1. With runners in scoring position. Swings and misses at that one. He's been using his fastball a lot for Esposito. Haven't seen a lot of his off-speed pitches here, as that one was at 93 miles an hour. He's been hitting 91, 92. It's been his control here. Pops it up. Third base side. Wilcoxon calls off Yoshida. Good communication by him to make the play. The Hoppers threaten but do not score. Leave two in scoring position as we're already in the sixth inning, folks. The game is flying by. We'll be back after this right here on the USPBL Network.
At Ascension, Michigan, we're committed to being your first choice for healthcare. Our nationally recognized heart program is the leader throughout Michigan in minimally invasive heart valve procedures. For joint replacement, spine, and cancer care, patients choose our specialists for advanced care and treatment. And we also excel in the things that can't be measured. Listening more closely, caring more compassionately.
Companies are competing for talent like never before. With the complexities of handling tasks like payroll, benefits administration, and other HR functions, it's easy to see how a professional employer organization like Tryon Solutions makes all the difference. Tryon empowers businesses of all sizes to attract and retain talent by offering access to top-tier healthcare and employee benefit plans. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Top of the sixth inning here at Jimmy John's Field. 2-2 game between the Hoppers and the Beavers. Luke Drummond back on the mound. Alex Johnson with you for the call here this afternoon. Been a great game so far. Just a recap of where we're at here. It started out on the first pitch. Chris Davis sent one out to right field, to the lawn seats, for a leadoff home run. And then in the bottom half of the first inning, the Hoppers were able to get one on a miscue in the infield, a throwing error by the Beavers. And then in the bottom half of the second inning, the Hoppers took the lead with a Chris O'Neill solo shot. And then the Beavers responded right back in the top half of the fourth with a home run to left by Luke Stevenson. So it was just a good, entertaining game they saw on Friday night. We'll see how these teams playing their own game, play their own style of play. And it's still early on. As we saw in the standings, the Hoppers trying to get over 500. Well, the Beavers trying to get back in the win column. And their last win, that was back on June 18th. They've lost their last two games. They lost 6-4 to the Mammoths on Wednesday, and then Lost to these same Hoppers 6-5 in the sudden death win on Friday night for the Hoppers. It's going to be the 4-5-6, the middle of the order for Coach Dombrowski's squad. Bolin, Hilbrich, and Stevenson. Porter going for it, diving, but unable to make the play. Good effort. It's just really tough with that netting and those bricks. You don't want to, as Porter's going to be able to get back up, but don't want to run into the wall. You like the effort. No. Also got to be careful with your surroundings. 1-2 pitch coming. And he chased him down swinging. At that fastball at 85. And Bolin is retired. One gone. Ray Hilbrich coming up now. 1 for 2 on the day. Coming in now at that first pitch strike from Drummond. Going off speed with that 78 mile per hour. Got him that time. Quickly 0-2 on Hilbrich. And it's a 3-pitch strikeout for Ray Hilbrich as Drummond gets another strikeout. Luke Stevenson now. I mentioned a few moments ago that he had that home run in the 4th inning to tie the game back up. That was his first home run for him in the USPBL. Coming in, came in today just hitting 1 for 6. In his first week. But he feels pretty good after that home run. Everyone was excited for him in the dugout. And as he's down on the count 1-2. As Drummond chased him that one to go high. 1-2 pitch coming. Below the knees with the fastball. 2-2. 2-2 pitch coming. And one goes to the top of the netting. And the fans behind home plate were ready to catch a souvenir. Just up that top netting. Drummond strikes out the side. Good location by Luke Drummond. Outside part of the zone, upstairs. And Stevenson went for it and missed. And a good outing by Luke Drummond, striking out the side. That was a 1-2-3 inning. We head now to the bottom of the 6th. Still tied up at 2. We'll be back right here on the USPBL Network.
Throughout your life, from big moments to ones well-earned, we're your financial guardian angel. Alliance Catholic Credit Union.
Brian Ross takes the mound for the Beavers here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Take a look at what he brings to the table. He's from Saginaw, Michigan, and went to Saginaw Swan Valley High School. Spent his time at Mid-Michigan College as well as Lansing Community College. Taking a look at his stat line so far. He's making his 8th appearance on the season in 10 innings of work. So 9 strikeouts and 9 walks. Has allowed 13 earned runs on the season. His last outing was on Wednesday against the Mammoths, where he went 2 innings of work, 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, and 10 batters faced. Trying to keep the score where it's at here in the bottom half of the 6th. Has 4 pitches. That's a 4-seam fastball, 2-seam fastball, a curveball, and a changeup. As we're in the bottom of the 6th inning, presented by Valpak. It's going to face the heart of the order, Burke, Schellenbarger, and O'Neill. It's going to be interesting how the rest of this game goes. And some fans having a good time here over at the ballpark. On the ground, foul. Over near the picnic tables. Down the hot corner. As Burke gets back in the box. Ross gets set, 3 seconds to get the pitch off. He does. A foul off the bat of Burke. Was behind home plate of a little tapper. At the pitch clock over out in center field. It's been really effective this season with the pace of play and throughout all baseball. Been implemented everywhere. Burke drops that one in for a leadoff single. As he was going after that one. Over into left field. In front of Wilcoxon and Bolin. Now brings up Bryant Schellenbarger. 0 for 2 today. A couple of strikeouts. "13 hits on the season for him. Moving in. The Hoppers with runners on base and 264 as a team. And they hit really well, getting 257. When they get on base with a base hit on as a leadoff. So a chance here for the Hoppers to make some noise, get some runners on. As he fouls out one to the screen. Talked with Coach Ryan Cockey before the game and just able to just play consistent. We've been able to play consistent throughout the course of the season. Looking at it today, we got to play our own style of play. We got to play our brand of baseball. We've done really well in that retrospect and be able to capitalize on opposing teams' mistakes like they did on Friday and getting a run in the bottom of the 1st inning on an error. And Schellenbarger goes down swinging. Chris O'Neill steps in now. Hopper ball cap over there. Hopper fan in attendance. Got a lot of those here today. With the white jerseys and the orange sleeves. O'Neill with the swing and the miss. 85 miles an hour. Ross, taking a look over at first base of Burke. That one went way up and in. Now, Burke's not a threat to steal. Looking at it this season, they came in 14 of 17. So they're near the middle of the pack in that department. That was line right to Chris Davis. Burke has to go back. It was a good arm by Davis over to Stubbs. Burke able to get back just in time to hold. Now Taj Porter will step in now. Taj Porter is 0 for 2 today. A couple of ground outs for him. Went up near the chin. As Ross has been able to get a couple of outs after allowing the leadoff single by Burke. Going over here is Ross. Pitching from the stretch. Missed down in the dirt. 2-1. Ross takes a look at home plate. Gets himself set. And fouls that one off. Up next would be Todd Maddox. If Porter reaches 2-2, 2 outs, runner on first in a 2-2 ball game. Inside for ball 3. Was trying to get him with that off speed at 78. Was going with that changeup. Burke will be on the move. Payoff pitch coming. In the air. To shallow left, not deep at all. Ben Wilcoxon calls for it, makes the catch. You got a leadoff single by the Hoppers. They get nothing else. We're going to head to the 7th inning. Tied at 2. We're going to send it down to Kara Wolfbauer.
Many of you probably heard Johnny mention it earlier that one of our players from 2016 that got signed to the Cincinnati Reds just got called up to the big leagues today for his start with the Cincinnati Reds. Now we have Shane McCaddy, our Director of Baseball Operations, to talk more about it.
Oh, thanks, Kara. Yeah, we're all super excited for Randy. He's going to be throwing in about half an hour, I believe. So super exciting. 2016, one of the first players we ever had here. Pitch here for 2 years. Really did a great job and built enough of a profile out for himself to end up getting signed by the Reds and make it all the way to the big leagues.
And something exciting we were just talking about is that Randy Wynn actually came and was pretty much coming on from a walk-on status, came to our tryouts, like we had our college showcase last week. So some of these guys just got here as well. Randy was just like them, and he came off of Tommy John surgery. Now look where he is today.
It was super impressive. One of the first people that ever stepped on the field here, coming from relatively unknown, small school, off an injury. Who would have known? 7, 8 years later, he's in the big leagues. It was an unbelievable story.
And one more quick question. How do you think that inspires guys here now who just came to the tryouts and are here with us?
Oh man, it should be great inspiration. You know, going from here, you just never know. You never know who is to see you. You know, playing for, you know, every day you have an opportunity to impress someone and make a name for yourself.
Well, thank you so much, Shane. And let's give it up one more time for Randy Wynn, who just got his big league call today. Thank you guys so much. We'll send it back up to Johnny in the booth after that big news.
Well, thanks so much, Kara. Very exciting to see former USPBL player Randy Wynn, a right-handed pitcher who played in the USPBL in 2016 and 2017. Got called up by the Cincinnati Reds, so congratulations to him. And take a look at his journey. You know, he went to Missouri Baptist University, an NAIA school. It was 2 seasons in the USPBL, had an ERA over 3. And then looking 150 strikeouts for him. It was 13-9 overall in his time in the USPBL. And he was in the Cincinnati Reds farm system for a few seasons. And now getting called up. He got called up today from the Louisville Bats down in AAA. Now making his major league debut this afternoon, so congratulations to him. We've seen a lot of guys, you know, get signed, and some players get all the way up from the farm system. This is 2-2 now. Two count on Judd. So 3-2 now. So Randy Wynn becomes the 6th player in USPBL history as Marcus Judd goes down swinging. The 6th player to make it all the way up to the major leagues. So congratulations to him. Very exciting news, and I mentioned earlier in the show, Francis Florentino on the Woolly Mammoths getting signed by the Twins this past week. As well as we've had Kyle Bischoff and Jake Wozinski this season get signed by the Twins in the early part of the season. As it's 1-1 on Shoma Yoshida. One and two now, after that swing and miss. Yoshida from Irvine, California, went to Concordia University, Irvine, Division II school. Was 1 for 2 on Friday, 0 for 2 so far here today, with a couple of ground outs. Drummond getting set. One skied in the air. Routine play. Sliding for it is Alex Pup. What a play. Slid down on his knees to make that play. Incredible. He was just running for it, as well as Maddox and Califoot. That's how you get an out right there. Brings up Ben Wilcoxon. 0 for 2 for him here today. Let's just take a look at that replay. This is a sliding in on both knees. Alex Pup. He's made a couple of web gems defensively throughout the course of the season. Has been a hero on both sides of the ball. Well, Coxon pops this one up into shallow center. Anthony Flores makes the catch. And it's a 1-2-3 inning. The Beavers go down in order. Been a good game so far. We're going to take a moment for the Genesee Credit Union 7th inning stretch. We'll be back after this.
Make your move with a quick and easy mortgage from Genesis Credit Union. We have mortgages to fit your life. Genesis Credit Union. Visit us today.
What are the odds that we're neighbors, where you've known each other our whole lives, and both tear the exact same things in this exact same knee?
So an ACL tear is an injury to the main stabilizing structure of the knee.
You want a good team around you, because then you know that what you're doing is going to help you in the long run.
My message to everyone who's helped me, thank you so much, because you guys helped me progress so much.
Also hearing it from a friend that's went through the exact same thing, I think sort of helps that know that there's a bright side at the end.
Slide into a new home. Work with a local mortgage pro who works for you. Get a cheaper, faster, easier home loan. Find a mortgage broker near you today at findamortgagebroker.com.
Bottom of the 7th inning. 2-2 ball game between the Beavers and the Hoppers. New pitcher on the mound, Brennan Cox for the Beavers. The southpaw at 6', 235 from Taylor, Michigan. Coming from Wayne State University. As he steps in. Was a first pitch strike to Todd Maddox. He'll be followed by Chandler Dunn and then Alex Pup. Cox, who mentioned, former Wayne State Warrior. 0-2 counter that swing and a miss. He went to Riverview Gabriel Richard Catholic High School, a team that won a state championship a few years ago. Making his 6th appearance on the season. 11 innings pitched so far, 11 strikeouts compared to 5 walks, an ERA at 4.91. An opposing batting average at 277. Pitched 2 clean innings against the Mammoths on Wednesday, only allowing 1 hit. So this bottom half of the 7th inning is presented by Pepsi. It counts 1 and 2 on Todd Maddox. A ground out and a strikeout here today. Cox with the pitch. This one out to left field. You can kiss that one goodbye. A go-ahead home run by Todd Maddox. And the Hoppers are back up on front. Three-two game now. That's another one for the Hoppers here today. Back in the driver's seat. What a hot one there. Gets a little bit of a water shower. And that's his first on the year. And that kid getting the souvenir to take home. It's the go-ahead run right now. So it's 3-2 game now in favor of the Hoppers. Done on the ground to Yoshida. Over to Stubbs for the first out of the inning. Alex Pup now back to the top of the order, who made such an incredible play in the last half inning on a pop-up, and he slid down for it. Was heading into foul ground. Pup 0 for 2 here today. One pitch. This one has some distance. It's going to find a gap in left center. Going all the way to the wall. Pup stops at second base for a one-out double. Read that perfectly and found the gap. And that's his first double on the season. Just had good read, good vision on that one. He's now 1 for 3 on the day. Also 1 for 3 is Anthony Flores. That's a double of his own. Back in the first. As it's a 1-0 count on him. Flores getting set. In the batter's box, good pitch by Cox. Got him at 76 miles per hour. Cox has a four-seam fastball, a slider, and a changeup that curves. So interesting to see what he can bring there. It's a good pitch. He sees runner at second. Cox, one grounded foul, 1-2. Cox was part of the MLB Draft League last summer, played for the State College Spikes. Played 3 games for them. So he gets another strikeout. Anthony Flores this time. Joseph Califoot will step in. He also spent a couple summers over in Kalamazoo, played for the Kalamazoo Growlers of the Northwoods League. One of those summer leagues where guys are still in school and prepping for the next step after graduation. One 0 count on Califoot. 0 for 3 here today. He lined out to second in the first inning. Then a throwing error caused Flores to score. He didn't get an RBI on the play since it was after he was out. 1-2 count. One and two. Cox takes a long look over at home, pitching from the stretch, trying to get out of this inning. Califoot sends this one off the netting and into the picnic area next to the Hoppers dugout. One and two. Field staying back. Goes out to right center. It drops in. Pup will score. And it's now 4-2 Hoppers. Thanks to the RBI single by Joseph Califoot. Getting some insurance here after Todd Maddox gave them the lead. They now have 8 hits on the day. Hoppers are pulling away now. Rings up Joe Burke. Joe Burke, well, a couple of singles. Also went down the hot corner and goes, looked like it was going to go into the bullpen. But Malik Bolin gives it to a lucky fan. Over at the Chevrolet Pavilion out in left field. Grounds this one down to first base. Over to assistant coach Mike Rice of the Hoppers. So 2 runs have come across for the Hoppers. Grounded and a chopper to Yoshida. He'll throw it over to Stubbs to retire the side, but not before 2 runs come across. The leadoff homer in the inning by Todd Maddox, and then an RBI single by Joseph Califoot to make it 4-2 Hoppers over the Beavers as we head to the top of the 8th. We'll be back after this right here on the US PBL Network.
Fifth Third Extra Time helps you do you better. So kick back and relax. You have extra time to avoid overdraft fees. Fifth Third Extra Time. This is banking a Fifth Third better.
There are things you can rely on in this world, like your dog being happy to see you, coffee getting you through the day, and the government changing business regulations. And when it comes to navigating those regulations, you can rely on Tryon and its team of attorneys. Tryon can also tackle time-consuming HR tasks like payroll and employee benefits, so you can stay focused on growing your business. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
Always rely on Tryon.
We're the financial champion of Michiganders. Whether you're a goal getter or dream chaser, an empty nester or up-and-comer, anyone in Michigan can bank with us. Michigan Schools and Government Credit Union.
Top of the 8th inning, the Hoppers in a driver's seat, 4-2 over the Beavers. It'll be 1, 2, 3. Chris Davis, Rudy Ramirez, J.D. Stubbs. As the Beavers try to get back into this game. Alex Johnson with you for the call. Now, looking back on Friday, when these two teams played, the Hoppers were in control with the lead. They were up 4-1. And then in the bottom half of the 7th on Friday, the Beavers put up a 4 spot to take the lead. And the Hoppers tied it up in the 8th, and then they forced extras, and they won it in sudden death. Davis drops one right in front of Flores for his second hit of the afternoon. Rudy Ramirez will come in, but it's going to be interesting what they do here. They're down to their final 6 outs and doing everything they can to find a win. Just want to feel good about themselves. Taking some tough losses on Wednesday and Friday night. Ramirez 1 for 3 with a double. He's another Wayne State grad. As he's coming over, he's looking over to throw over to first to Davis. Keep him in check. A 1. Got him upstairs at 83. 0-2 on Rudy Ramirez. Davis does have speed. I'll be careful with him. And called out on strikes. Rudy Ramirez, not happy about that one. That was the same pitch as the last one. Top part of the strike zone. An umpire has been calling it most of the day. Now Davis on the move. The ball to the backstop. Porter. And no chance to get him out there. Going to rule that a pass ball on the play. Just going to see on the replay. Just trying to take a look at it here. It's at the knees for a strike, at 86 mile per hour fastball to Stubbs. Just worried about Davis. I was not sure about that pitch. I was just looking at it. It was off the glove of Porter, and then it went to the back. That's a pass ball. They were ruling it. So it's 2-1. He looks at the runner on second. Drummond gets set. And again, off the glove. That's another pass ball. Now Davis is just 90 feet from home. Malik Bolin is on deck. Take a look at the Beavers. With runner on third and less than 2 outs. There's 22 RBIs in that situation. They're 243 with runners on base, but only hitting 216 with runners in scoring position. Stubbs pulls one out to right. Schellenberger makes the play. Going to be a sacrifice fly as the throw was cut off to Joe Burke. And the Beavers cut the deficit to 1. So a sac fly by J.D. Stubbs makes it a 1-run game. Still hanging around with 4 outs to work with. Now down 1. As it's now 4-3. Now Porter is getting a new glove after those 2 passed balls. Well, just something you don't see very often. It'll be Malik Bolin now, right to the screen. Drummond gets set. It's the first run allowed by Drummond today. He's been really solid coming out of the pen. relief for Andrew for Brugge here today. Both starters allow 2 runs. It's got some action in the bullpen starting for the Hoppers. Look like that's Nolan Riley getting warmed up in the bullpen. Swing and a miss down the middle at 89 miles an hour. Drummond takes a look at home. Looking to get to his windup here with the 2-2 pitch. Foul right to the screen. Just trying to stay alive. Ray Hilbrich would be next if Bolin is able to reach. Drummond again. Popped up. Calling for it is Joe Burke. Calling pour out of the way for that can of corn. And the Beavers are retired. They do get one on the sacrifice fly by J.D. Stubbs to make it a 4-3 game. Heading now to the bottom of the 8th. We'll be back after this on the USPBL Network.
We build roads, bridges, wind farms and pipelines, schools to skyscrapers. Our members create monuments. We operate. We're the operators and mechanics behind the advanced heavy machines that move Michigan forward. We maintain boilers and HVAC. Our members run the complex heating and cooling systems that we all depend on. Our training is second to none, and safety is our priority. We are Operating Engineers 324, and we keep Michigan running.
Jimmy John's Field is the perfect venue for birthday parties, summer picnics, company outings, and provides the best entertainment in Metro Detroit with great baseball all summer long. Spend your summer nights under the lights at Jimmy John's Field in historic downtown Utica.
Bottom of the 8th inning here at Jimmy John's Field. It's the Hoppers 4 and the Beavers 3. Brian Camacho is now on the bump. Taking a look at his stat line so far this season. As we look at it for him so far coming into today. Coming from Puerto Rico, a 6'1", 195 right-hander. Making his 10th appearance already this season. 11 strikeouts and 14 walks, 5 earned runs, and 13 2/3 innings of work, with that ERA of 3.29 with a 2-1 record. Batting average is just 186 to opposing hitters, so he's done well in that department. Went 2 innings of work on Wednesday against the Mammoths, allowed 1 run, 1 hit, 1 strikeout, and 1 free pass. He went to Fairmount State University in Fairmount, West Virginia, Division II school in the Mountain East Conference, where he was solid in his senior season, having an ERA of under 2, just over 9 innings of work. He's going to face 5, 6, and 7 for the Hoppers, Schellenbarger, O'Neill, and Porter. Here in this bottom half of the 8th inning, presented by Jimmy John's. Schellenbarger, 3 strikeouts, 2 swinging, 1 looking. 4 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Hoppers. 3 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for the Beavers. As that one's back up the middle. First of the day for Schellenberger was out of the reach of Judd. Looking at over here, Coach Ryan Kotke's kids. Taking control of the bats here today. His daughter Reagan and son Colt. Been assisting JJ here today. Chris O'Neill at that home run to give the Hoppers the lead in the second. Camacho getting set. Going 87 miles an hour. Was up and in. Two-one pitch. Went inside again, but Stevenson lost it. Schellenberger advances to second, no problem. This is very crucial for the Beavers. You don't want this deficit to go up. You want to be able to keep it where it's at. As it's 3-1 now, Camacho looks over at second, gets the pitch and in the stretch. Ooh, and hit him. So runners on first and second now. Just taking a look at it here. So now first and second, nobody out. For Tash Porter. Porter today 0 for 3. He'll take his base. Just trying to see where it got him, but near the side. He's okay. They get to first base. No problem. It's now 2-0. As Camacho looks over. Looked over now. It's now falling behind 3-0 to Taj Porter. Now Camacho gets set. Looks over at the runners. 3-0 pitch. It's inside corner 3-1 at 88 miles an hour. Now 3-1 on Porter. Out to left. Bolin makes the catch. Runners hold. So 1 out. So Todd Maddox had the go-ahead home run last inning. So first and second, 1 out. Todd Maddox, 1 for 3 today. It's a first pitch strike. 87 miles an hour. Camacho with the four-seam fastball, slider, and curve. Looks again. Now throws, goes inside. Moving away was Maddox. 1-1. Camacho again. Gets set. 1-1 pitch. Ripped foul. Coming off hot at 89. Important here for the Hoppers. Of 2 runners on. Trying to build on this 1-run lead they have. Check swing. Did not go. Drops in front of home plate, so the runners can't move up. Maddox coming into today. 4 of 16 with runners on. 3 of 9 with runners in scoring position. 2-2 pitch. And one dropped out of the glove of Stevenson. 3-2. So 3-2 count here now. On deck is Chandler Dunn. Payoff pitch coming. He lost him. Al, the bases are loaded. With just 1 out. Chandler Dunn is going to try to bust this game open. Looking at what the bases loaded for the Hoppers this season. They are just 2 of 12. So not taking advantage of the opportunities what they want to. But they've held opposing teams to 0.95, 2 of 21 with the bases loaded. 1-0 pitch. It's a top part of the strike zone with that fastball at 88. 1-1 on Chandler Dunn. Camacho is looking for a double play ball. Yoshida and Stubbs are in. Judd and Wilcoxon are back. You see the outfield, Hilbridge and Davis, a little bit more in. Boland's back in his normal position. 2-1 count. Inside ball 3 and nowhere to put him. Got to be careful if you're Camacho. Three-one pitch. And ball 4. The Hoppers will walk in a run. It's 5-3, thanks to the bases loaded walk by Chandler Dunn, excuse me. The fans over down by the first base side. Let's see if there's any activity in the Beavers bullpen. Now Frankie Leska is going to talk over with the infield. As it's back to a 2-run game. So Schellenberger will score on the walk. I'll take a look At next week's schedule, it'll be the Beavers and the Mammoths on Friday for a 7:05 game. The Hoppers will play the Unicorns on Saturday, July 1st for a doubleheader. And then next Sunday, it'll be the Mammoths and the Beavers at 7:05. Note the time difference on Sunday, next Sunday night. It's a 7:05 first pitch for the Salute to America celebration. So not a 1:05 first pitch next Sunday, just to make people aware. Let's take a look ahead, and then we have the All-Star game coming up July 8th, as this one's popped up. It's going to be an infield fly rule. J.D. Stubbs hauls it in as Pup is retired. Yeah, so Saturday, July 8th will be the USPBL All-Star game, beginning at 5:30 with the Home Run Derby. It's coming up in a couple weeks. Summer is moving along here in Michigan. Bases are still loaded for Anthony Flores. Able to get one run on the bases loaded walk by Dunn, who's over at first. And Maddox is at second. And out of the reach of Wilcoxon. O'Neill will score. Maddox will score. And it's now 7-3 Hoppers. 2-run single by Anthony Flores. And the Hoppers have opened things up. So now first and second now. And it looks like we're going to have a pitching change. It's now 7-3 Hoppers over the Beavers with 2 outs here in the 8th. Looks like we're going to have John Bucalaire come in. We'll step aside for a brief moment. And we'll be back right here on the USPBL Network. It's a 7-3 Hoppers lead.
We're the financial champion of Michiganders. Whether you're a goal-getter or dream chaser, an empty nester, or up-and-comer, anyone in Michigan can bank with us. Michigan Schools and Government Credit Union.
They call me Prospects. Since the day I was born as a diver's watch, the challengers of the world have taught me many things. Life is not a numbers game. It's about challenging ourselves. No matter what happens, just follow your heart. These pioneers drive our generation forward. Not by setting records, but by never giving up. Keep going forward. Prospects.
Available at Lucido Fine Jewelry.
John Bucalaire steps on the mound here in the bottom of the 8th with 2 outs. Runners on first and second. The Hoppers have gotten 3 runs here to add on to their lead. Now up 4. John Bucalaire trying to get this last out of the inning. Coming from Dearborn, Michigan, and a graduate from Madonna University in Livonia. Making his 11th appearance on the season. As he's facing Joseph Califoot. 1-0 count. Check swing. He held up. 2-0. And this is the 8th man to bat here in this inning for the Hoppers. Three runs on a couple of hits and some walks. All right, at the knees at 90 miles an hour. 2-1 on Califoot. Ukulele getting set, looks at the runners. Check swing, called strike. 2-2. Beavers down 4. 2-2 pitch coming. Just below the knees, 3-2. Ukulele getting set again. So for its second, payoff pitch coming, runners on the move. It's foul. Three-two count. Ukulele getting set. Payoff pitch coming. Up the middle. And into center field. Dunn hustling from second. He will score. The throw is cut off by Stubbs. And it's now 8-3 Hoppers. RBI single by Califoot. Keeps the inning going. So Joe Burke will step in. It's the second RBI on the season for Califoot, who also had a home run on Friday night. Missed outside to Joe Burke. 2 for 4 today. Except the runners. No pitch. At the knees, 80 miles an hour. Ukulele. With the 1-1 count. There's a couple of off-speed pitches. At the knees again. With that off-speed at 79. It's a four-seam fastball, a slider, and a sinker. Gets into his stance. Pitching from the stretch. 1-2 pitch coming to Joe Burke. Outside, 2-2 at 91 miles an hour. When we get to the 9th inning, the Beavers will have 5, 6, 7. Burke drops one in the center off the glove of Davis. Flores scores. That one goes behind as Califoot scores. And Burke is all the way at third. And what has been even, throughout the entire ball game, the Hoppers bring everything they got to the very end and put up a 6 spot over the Beavers here in this inning and now lead 10-3. That's 3 errors today by the Beavers. Stopped. Oh, the short backstop behind home plate. We're seeing how they rule that. No. Single and a couple errors. One foul, 1-1. So this was looking like this was going to be a close game, and right at it. It was tied 2-2, and then it was a 3-2 lead after the home run by Maddox last inning. Good call by Will Coxon, running in there to make the catch, but not before the Hoppers add 6 more, and they now have a 10-3 lead heading into the 9th inning. The Beavers will have one more chance when we come back right here on the USPBL Network.
We're for people, the pioneers, the underdogs, the players, and the slow and steadies. We're for people, for who they are and who they could become. Yes, we're a bank, and some say our business is all about money, but that's an old idea. Because look past the money, and you'll see real human lives. We see it, because we're for people. Huntington, welcome.
Slide into a new home. Work with a local mortgage pro who works for you. Get a cheaper, faster, easier home loan. Find a mortgage broker near you today at findamortgagebroker.com.
You hear about the promo that Jimmy's John's got going on? 5 off 20? How they pulling it off? Magic? You got David's Copperfields in there? Show yourself, Copperfields!
Jimmy John's. $5 off orders of 20 or more.
Top of the 9th inning. New pitcher for the Hoppers as they now have a 10-3 lead over the Beavers. Riley coming in at 6'2", 205 from Augusta, Kansas, making his 8th appearance on the season. 6 strikeouts compared to 3 walks on 9 earned runs. Has an 0-1 record. He pitched Friday, 1 inning of work with no runs allowed. The Hoppers sent 10 men to the plate. They batted around, and they got 6 runs. And it was a 2-2 game. Then Todd Maddox made it 3-2. And got some other runs here as well. Ray Hilbrich gets a leadoff double. Right to that right field corner. So they got, looking back in that 7th inning, so the Todd Maddox hit that home run, and then Joseph Califoot made it 4-2, And then they had a sac fly to make it 4-3 by the Beavers. It was off of J.D. Stubbs in the bottom of the 8th, at the top of the 8th. And then the Hoppers pulled away with a 6-run 8th to really open it up. You look at it, with the score-wise, it's a lot closer than it actually was. It was pretty entertaining. Luke Stevenson sends that one foul. He has a home run today. He was able to tie it up back in the 4th. But the Hoppers, capitalize on the mistakes that the Beavers made. And looking at it from a defensive standpoint, Beavers come in 1-3 when they make 2 or more errors. That's something that they can't have allowed. And as a team, 16 errors overall. 2-2 pitch. Stevenson. Gloved right at Maddox. Marcus Judd steps in. He's 0 for 3 here today. A couple of ground outs and a strikeout. Nolan Riley getting set to work. First pitch. Just a little outside. 87. Ten runs, 12 hits, no errors for the Hoppers. 3 runs, 6 hits, 3 errors for the Beavers. All right, at the knees for a strike. Riley getting set. 1-1 pitch. In the air to center. Flores stepping back. Makes the catch. Obrich will tag it and advance to third. Down to their last out, Shoma Yoshida. Couple of ground outs and a pop out. So it's going to be Tremaine Spears actually going to be pitch hitting for Yoshida. Spears coming in 244 on the season. Look to keep the game alive. He was 1 for 4 on Friday. Going down the right field line, Burke going for it, sliding. Not able to make the play, but that was a long run for Joe Burke. That would have been really difficult. How spacious foul ground is here at Jimmy John's Field. The extra room to work with. But you like the effort. 1 count on Spears. Swing and a miss. Now down to their last strike. Riley getting set. Oh, 2 pitch. Missed up high and away. 1-2. One, 2 pitch. Stays alive right to the screen. Up next would be Ben Wilcoxon. And as both teams get ready for the final week before the first half of play ends. Just outside 2-2. Then the All-Star game, July 8th. These teams will play again before the All-Star break, July 7th, Friday, July 7th. That'll be the last game before the break. Much of the Beavers will play the Mammoths Friday and Sunday, while the Hoppers will play the Unicorns for 2 on Saturday. It's a full count to Tremaine Spears. 3-2 pitch. Called strike 3. And the Hoppers sweep the weekend series with the Beavers. A 10-3 victory after a 6-run eighth to bust it open. And overall great win for the Hoppers as they go back up to 500. One game over at 8-7. While the Beavers fall to 6-10. It was a close game throughout, but the Hoppers had the final answer with that 6-run spark in the 8th inning. So a 10-3 victory, as both teams will look forward to next week. And when we come back, we'll step aside and we'll have our post-game show after this break right here on the US PBL Network.
Ain't too many of the teams can defeat us. You on the sideline warming up the benches. Need a lesson? I can show you, I can teach ya. You see a Diamond Hopper fan, point 'em out. 8, 5 ball, catch a frog, walk it out. 8. Every time we score, I'm throwing up my diamond. Both hands in the air, same timing. Let's rock. Diamond Hoppers, Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Diamond Hoppers, we the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Diamond Hoppers, Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Diamond Hoppers, we the Eastside Diamond Hoppers.
Healthcare player of the game, who you guys just saw on the mound a little while ago, Luke Drummond, did extremely well tonight. Now, he's been very effective this season so far, but today he went 3 innings, retired 9 in a row, with 4 consecutive strikeouts and 5 strikeouts altogether. Now, Luke is a returner. We had him last year with us on the Hoppers, but tell me how it feels coming back a second year and what the different mentality is.
Well, I think this year the mentality mostly is that we went into the whole thing. We have a lot of returners this year, and I think all of us know if we can put it together, we can take it all the way.
And you guys have done extremely well this weekend. There's always going to be bumps in the road, but you've come out on top twice now. 3 games in one 4-game weekend. How does that maybe affect your guys' gameplay? Having 3 games in a weekend, that many games.
Well, I think a lot of it's just getting a lot of guys on the mound, getting them time, and when you get a starter thrown well, you can kind of ride him out there and try to get a win.
Thank you so much, Luke. Once again, this is our CNS Healthcare Player of the Game. Thank you guys so much for coming out to Jimmy John's Field on this Sunday Fun Day, and we'll see you next week at Jimmy John's Field. Thanks, everybody, on the broadcast. Thanks, Luke. Thanks, Johnny, and we'll see you next weekend.